just a few days left until the NHL trade deadline, the Toronto Maple Leafs desperately needed to clear salary cap space for potential reinforcements. That's when general manager Brad Treliving made a decision no one saw coming, placing Ryan Reaves on waivers to send him to the American Hockey League. At first, it seemed like just an administrative move, but what happened next took everyone by surprise. Instead of immediately reporting to the Toronto Marlies, Reaves simply disappeared from the radar. What was going on? Would he accept this demotion without resistance? Or were we about to witness an unexpected twist? The lack of news sparked all kinds of speculation among fans and analysts. Was a veteran still part of the Leafs' plans? Or was this the first step toward his eventual departure from the team? But hold on, because on Wednesday, an update emerged that could change everything. Ryan Reaves finally reported to the Marlies, and according to sources inside the locker room, he's already making his presence felt. And who confirmed this? None other than the team's head coach, John Gruden, who didn't hold back on praise. We've had him for 2 days, and it's been great because he brings a certain level of professionalism and energy, and that helps the younger guys as well, said Gruden. In other words, even in a situation that could have been uncomfortable, Reaves is finding ways to add value to the team and stay active. And there's more. According to the coaching staff, Reaves is focused on staying ready for any opportunity. He's going to work with the development team, and at the end of the day, he'll continue to make sure he's ready to play, no matter what happens, Gruden added. This raises an important question. Will he actually see action in the AHL? Or is this just a temporary step before his return to the Maple Leafs? Now, before we continue with this analysis, I have a quick request for you. If you enjoy this type of content and want to stay updated on the latest NHL news, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me bring you more content like this. Deal? Great. Now, let's keep going because there's more to this story. Leafs head coach Craig Berube has already made it clear that Reaves will return to the main roster. But that doesn't necessarily mean he'll have guaranteed playing time. With the playoffs approaching, the team needs to be 100% aligned, and the big question is, what role will Reaves play in this scenario? Will he be a key part of the rotation, or just an emergency option in case of injuries? There's also another important factor. Once the regular season ends, the salary cap is no longer an issue. That means the Leafs can bring Reaves back at any moment without worrying about financial limitations. In other words, his stint in the AHL could be extremely short, and he might return to the main roster much sooner than many expect. The conclusion to this story is still open, and anything could happen in the coming weeks. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Reaves still has a spot on his roster? Can he be useful in the playoffs? Or should the Leafs move in a different direction? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you think. The Chicago Blackhawks are at a pivotal moment. The rebuild is underway. Connor Bedard has already proven to be a rising star, and the team has a promising young core. But something is missing, a game-changing piece that can speed up this process and turn the Blackhawks into a competitive team right now. And if there's one team Chicago should be keeping a close eye on this offseason, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs. The reason? 2 players who could change the course of the franchise, Mitch Marner and Matthew Knies. Mitch Marner is set to become a UFA, unrestricted free agent, and the risk of him leaving Toronto grows by the day. The talented right winger is expected to be one of the most sought-after players on the market, with a projected salary demand of around $13.50 to $14 million per season, making him the highest-paid winger in the NHL. Trade rumors surrounding Marner have already begun circulating, and one of them caught many fans off guard. Toronto reportedly explored the possibility of sending him to the Carolina Hurricanes. This shows that the Maple Leafs are not ruling out a future without Marner. For Chicago, this presents a perfect opportunity to get in the mix. Marner's talent is undeniable. He consistently produces over a point per game in the regular season and could be an ideal partner for Bedard. But there's a big question mark: his playoff performance. In crucial moments, he has been criticized for not delivering at the same level as in the regular season. However, his performance at the Four Nations face-off proved he still has plenty to offer and could justify a massive contract. If the Blackhawks are looking for an elite player to lead the next phase of the franchise, Marner might be the answer. But there's another option. While Marner offers immediate impact, Matthew Knies represents a long-term investment. He is an RFA, restricted free agent, and does not yet have a contract for next season. Toronto wants to keep him, but with a tight salary cap, the team might struggle to afford both Marner and Knies. If the situation reaches a point where teams can send an offer sheet for Knies, the Blackhawks should act quickly. This young forward is 5 years younger than Marner, bigger, more physical, and has a playing style that would fit perfectly alongside Bedard. Jason Bucalo of Sportsnet 590 The Fan has suggested that Knies could receive an offer in a range of $9 million annually. If Chicago makes that move and Toronto chooses not to match, the Blackhawks would have to give up draft picks. But if it means speeding up the team's return to competitiveness, it could be worth it. Now comes the big question. What is the best option for Blackhawks? If the team goes after Marner, they'll be bringing in an immediate impact player, but at a high cost. He will demand a massive contract, and there are still concerns about his consistency in the playoffs. On the other hand, Knies could be a more affordable option, has a bright future, and would fit perfectly into Chicago's timeline. But to pry him away from Toronto, the Blackhawks would have to be willing to part with valuable draft picks. The good news? Chicago has plenty of salary cap space and can afford either option without compromising its financial flexibility. This is a luxury that few teams have, and the Blackhawks need to take advantage of it. The reality is that the Blackhawks cannot afford to stay idle this offseason. The team is rebuilding, but they must make aggressive moves to accelerate the process. With Bedard already proving to be a generational talent, surrounding him with impactful players is essential to avoid spending years at the bottom of the NHL. And that's where Toronto becomes a perfect target. Whether betting on a proven star like Marner or investing in a promising talent like Knies, the Blackhawks need to make a big move to break out of stagnation. Now, I want to hear from you. Who will be the better option for Chicago? Marner or Knies? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to keep up with all the offseason moves and in-depth analysis like this, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me bring you more content like this. Now, if you want to learn more about potential Leafs moves in this NHL offseason, check out the video appearing on your screen now. See you there.